Keys, Keys.
Hello, my name is Dr. Shashi. My friends call me Maestro. There are a few things I want to talk about concerning the death of Mohbad and issues around his passing on. There's this thing going on, and it's really confusing. People are talking about a compulsion surrounding DNA test and so on. And this is a massive distraction. Now, let's break this down so that we all understand where we are. You know for a fact that this is a cyber community. This social media world is a crazy world. And you have to learn to live in that world. And the way you go about living in that world is number one, even in your neighborhood, you don't talk to everybody. You know, you don't listen to everybody in your neighborhood. You consider some people crazy. You consider some people even beneath you. You consider some people, not up to par, and so on and so forth. Those are your subjective opinions, assessments of people in your neighborhood, whether it's exclusive or it's expansive or whatever it is. So there is nothing which compels you to listen to everybody on the social media or to talk to everybody on the social media. What you have to do is to make up your mind about people you're never going to listen to. Your own reasons, be very subjective about it. That I am not ever going to listen to so. I'm going to listen to this few. And then you have a little bit of sanity when issues are swirling around you. It is better that way. That's number one. So we can clear the path for what we really want to talk about. Now, concerning this DNA, you know that this DNA issue has nothing to do with people who beat Mohbad up, who made life miserable for him, who made him feel like committing suicide. DNA has nothing to do with all that. And you have to separate it. You understand? Because some people are trying as much as possible to push DNA to the front burner and make it look like the entire issue is about DNA. That is the footprint of falsehood. And you mustn't go there with them. Stay focused. Who beat up this guy everywhere he went? Who said ẹ pa gbogbo wèrè tẹ́ ń ṣe yẹn tì bọ̀bọ́ yìí ò ní kúrò níbi iṣẹ́ ìwọ máa lọ ní tiẹ̀? Who said that? Who said all station settlement, no case to answer? Who said wọ́n ti gbé sin? Now who poured sand in his food? Who disrupted his shows? Who put all those scars on his body? Now that is what we must focus on. That is what the police must focus on. That is what all sane people must focus on. It doesn't matter whether it is on Farmer Terra or it's on the super highway. That is one thing we must focus on because that is assault, is battery, it's a lot of things. So don't let anybody push DNA in front of that. That is number one. Number two, what actually caused the death of Mohbad? You understand? What caused the death of Mohbad? What took him out of life physically? Was it natural causes? Was he ill? Was he, whatever it is, has to be discovered. This has nothing to do with the DNA. I'm coming to the DNA issue. I'm going to talk about the DNA issue. But this guy at 27 died in seriously controversial circumstances, that is another issue that has nothing to do with DNA. Nothing. Now, number three, staying focused. Number three, let's assume that the DNA will point the police or the investigators in any kind of direction. That is strictly their business. So they have, a lot of ways to go about investigating and so on. And if it came to that point, if it comes to a point that they thought, all right, we're going to need a DNA test at this point, fine. Now, if anybody wants to suggest that to them, okay, that's also cool. That's also cool. But we are not going to do any suggestions with muzzles, and any kind of skunk. We're going to do it not with brawn. We're going to do it with brains and decency. Now let's go to this woman that they are, really trying to say her son is illegitimate. And right now, some people are on the social media. They are talking about something that happened in Dubai, and they never show proof. That is how to sidestep lunacy and go on, with your focus. If anybody is saying they did anything and so person has it, and this person has it, and that person has it, they are not telling anybody which hospital, where it was conducted. They are not showing anybody one copy of anything they are talking about. They are not even talking about, was Mohbad in the know? Did he follow them to the place to go and do the test? I mean, people who wanted him to run crazy, people who probably, were feeding him with stuff, people who were insinuating that he was crazy. Are you suggesting that these are the same people who actually undertook a DNA test on behalf of Mohbad? Was it because they loved him that much? What on earth would be the reason they would undertake such a venture? There's something crazy going on here. And some people on the surface of this earth with us, they want us to believe that. No, I won't believe that. But if you do, it is your choice. And you have your right to believe anything, like James Hadley Chase will say. My generation, we read a lot of James Hadley Chase. And he will say, believe this, you will believe anything. Now, let us talk about this child and about this marriage. You see, nobody on the surface of the earth is ever going to bring a divorce. It's not going to happen. She was Mohbad's wife, and she is now Mohbad's widow. And there is no lawsuit anywhere in the world that is going to shake that fact. It's not going to happen. So you better start, reconciling yourself with certain cold facts. She was his wife till the time he died, and she is now his widow by law, not by hearsay, not by frivolous claims, not by unsubstantiated narratives. Okay. The other thing that you might not know is the fact that that boy, forever, is going to be Mohbad's son. There's nothing in this life that will change that in the eyes of the law. So if you could make all your insinuations, you can go to Dubai and go anywhere you want to go and have fun, talking rot at that fallen woman who's mourning her husband. It's your choice. But she's going to remain her widow in the eyes of the law. There's no amount of DNA test you go and do that is going to ever change that fact. Now let's come to donations. If you don't have money to donate, or you don't feel like donating, keep your money to yourself. But don't stand in the way of people who want to donate money to the upkeep of this child. Is it your money? Are they asking you to bring money? None of these people who are donating asked you to bring one kobo. You guys don't bring money anywhere now. You beg around the place. So why don't you leave people who are doing that? Have they told you that it's disturbing them the way they are donating or anything? So if it's not disturbing them, why should it disturb you? Why are you losing sleep over somebody else's money? These things are very important. Now, finally, let's assume that at the end of the day, investigation implicates the widow. Nothing spoiled. So she faces the music. But you cannot hound her out of life as you hounded the husband and is now dead. As you hounded the husband and is no more here, now you have started on the widow too. What do you gain from all these things? Intelligent people in this life looking at a five-month old boy and looking at a full grown man and saying they resemble because they resemble is the father in this day and age. I think that's really ridiculous. But I've said all these things to people who want to go about uh, understanding things, and they have no ulterior motive. They don't want to gain traction. They don't want to have a lot of followers, so on and so forth. You know that some people would deliberately make themselves odious on the social media so that a lot of people who abuse them and cross them and have a lot of traction, they do it. They do it. But I'm sure there are people out there that are not interested in all those things. They simply want to listen to these things and weigh issues, with a great deal of brain and not brawn. And then let me even close this by way of saying that if you're intelligent, you don't have to be rude and unnecessarily arrogant. That is if you are consistently intelligent. Because the hallmark of intelligent people is to really be able to pin their limitations. So, because you have been able to point out one fact or two, you start calling everybody ignorant. The whole world is ignorant. Feel like you are the only one who is intelligent in the entire world. All right, that's the wrong path. And for a child that is growing, you might want to take an advice or two in that direction. There is nothing wrong with you saying, look at it this way, without necessarily being abusive. And when you tell people with all due respect, then you follow it up with insult. Maestro signing out.